All right, y'all, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take a little break from making videos for a while, but I'm back. I'm ready to do them again. I'm seeing things out there, and hopefully someone out there can listen to this and it can help you with whatever you got going on in your life right now. So I've, 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 okay, so don't feel bad because early parts of my journey, I was getting fucked up out here too. You know what I'm saying? But I evolved. A lot of you niggas ain't evolving. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just keep getting fucked up. Then you wondering why your life is crazy. You have to get all these fantasies out of your mind before you can start filling your mind up with your own fantasies. You know what I'm saying? How many people I've noticed, how like you listening to this, do your dreams involve you or were your dreams given to you by somebody else? And what do I mean by that? Is it your dream to do whatever you're doing? Or do you have a particular dream that you ever chased after or something that you wanted to do or something that was calling out to you? Or are you just going with the status quo? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is important because when you think about this, you can see if you're living out your fantasy, which is perfectly okay. I encourage that. You know what I'm saying? Because you going in whatever reality you say you're going in. And you in whatever reality you want to be in. That's what time it is. Um, so I encourage that. But if it's not your fantasy, that is a sign that you need to deprogram from that and start to fill your mind up with what your fantasies are. What is your dream like? Where do you want to travel to? What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? If all you want to do is have kids and stuff, at least do it in your own way. You know what I'm saying? Where do you want, like, really plan it out. And before you even have kids and do stuff like that, try to do some stuff for yourself. Don't be one of those people who's like 35 and bitter, like, damn, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. All I'm doing is raising kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is where I'm saying, like, are these dreams your dreams or are they somebody else's fantasy? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I rarely ever see a nigga be like, yo, I just want to, like, what happened to having like dream cars and dream houses and shit like that? It's like niggas be feeling guilty about that. Everything is just, I gotta help this person, I gotta help that person. It's like, yo, how can you help anyone if you ain't even helped yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying every nigga should try to be in a mansion, but shit, if every nigga was in a mansion, then you might actually be in a position to help a nigga. The fuck you gonna do for a nigga? You could barely hold down a Honda Civic or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas gotta take care of themselves first. And I start this off saying that to say like a lot of niggas is in la la land. Like I don't think niggas understand how this reality works. That's why I tried to like my last couple of videos I did before I took a break. I was trying to explain how this reality works. This shit is not cookies and rainbows. The way that is presented to us, you gotta stop listening to these niggas. These niggas might be worse than the white man with telling us lies. The way we be growing up and they be trying to make us feel like, yo, everything was just peaches and rainbows and 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 it was just sunshine all day and we was just peaceful and playing the drums and a roomba way, and it was dancing and every nigga had 6 wives and you could just go into the river and get a gold chain and now you shining. It's like, everything was great before the white man came. Like, that's how this shit is presented to us. And if you read history, this shit, this might be somebody's like war video game for their PS5, like some alien. We might be in the reality of like a war video game, because that's all this shit has ever been about. Whether you read in mythologies and the gods having wars, or whether we having wars and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Once you can understand that, this is not to have a doom and gloom mindset. This is to help you get rid of your doom and gloom mindset because you kind of give up hope for certain things. You know what I'm saying? You just understand that the way that this place is set up, and I'm gonna give some books at the end to help you read about, like when you read the Kabbalion and shit, when you read the laws of Tahuti, like when you read these things that niggas be posting all the time, and it's like, in order for this place to be balanced, somebody gotta be fucked up and somebody gotta be good at the same time. This shit ain't never gonna be no even Steven. This shit a fucking seesaw. Somebody gotta be in a castle and somebody gotta be a fucking peasant. It's unfortunate. That's why you have Gnostic thought where and certain type of thoughts where it's like this is not a good place. But this is not the video for that. What I'm saying is to let go of these fantasies. Once you start letting go of these fantasies, you'll stop saying like, why is the world so bad? And if the government would just do this and just do that. And when you start letting go of some of this stuff, it'll free you. And you'll realize how free we are right now, especially if you're into this information. If you're into this information, you should be trying to figure out how to get the magic carpet back popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what niggas be doing, but if if I had to be doing something in the shadows, it would be trying to figure out how to get the magic carpet back popping. I'm trying to do shit like I got my car, right? I got my Z and I'm doing 100 on the highway and I see some cops and I drive right past them and my car is like invisible. I done chanted the car and their radar can't pick it up. That's the type of shit I'm on. I don't know what you niggas are. You niggas is on complain about the cops. I'm about doing some shit or some ritual or some shit to get them niggas off of the back or get them niggas out of the way. That's what I'm on. I'm a solutionist, my nigga. I'm a scientist, and that's what makes me a solutionist. Because when there's a problem, I'm gonna try to solve it. And that's what this video is about, solving your problems. But understanding that in this reality, in this life, you're gonna have problems no matter what. That's why I'm saying you gotta get out of la la land. You gotta get out of fantasy land. This shit ain't gonna be cupcakes and shit every day. You hear that shit all the time. What you think that means? That's why you have to develop the mind of a scientist because a scientist is a problem solver. You know what I'm saying? That's I remember that being like in third grade. I just flashed back for some reason. And I remember like taking a test and like one the something on the test was like, what do you do when you got like a hypothesis and then you gotta like problem solve and read the report. I don't. I'm starting to forget already, but I know you have to hypothesize and you got to problem solve. So, nigga, that's what you need to be doing. That meditation, your ass need to be hypothesizing and problem solving. All right, what are the problems that people say are problems right now? The economy, the 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 work, like the world being at war and crisis and shit. Okay, okay, hold on. Let me help you out with that. At one point in the reality, not too long ago, and still going on in certain places. We just call it country living. At one point in the reality, let's say renting a house was like 50 cents, a dollar, or like $10, $50, right? And then at one point, it's like 200, 300. That's even very recently. Before it was that, it was probably 50. Before it was that, it was probably 20. You know, we have this gradual increase. When I was a kid, because we're living in this fucking fucked up time loop, when I was a young kid and Obama was being elected around them times, Young Jeezy dropped an album called The Recession. And I stamp it, gas was higher then, at least in Connecticut, than it is now. I don't care what you niggas say. whether the dollar was worth more than whatever. I remember gas being higher then, at least in my reality. We are actually in the point where we could have both been living in Connecticut at the same time, going to the same gas stations at the same time, and the prices being different, being in different realities. That's y'all not understanding. Y'all not really understanding what time it is or what time it been, I guess. And we just, it's becoming more and more evident. Um, so I want to say in my reality, it was definitely more expensive, but not to get off track. I'm saying we've been dealing with all of this. We've been dealing with all of this. And you know what was happening in that time? Places like Atlanta was booming and bubbling up and becoming what they are now. Places like PG County were bubbling up and becoming what they are now. And even if you want to be all pessimistic and be like, yeah, but them niggas could have been Masons, them niggas could have been this, them niggas could, you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is niggas was getting money during them times. Niggas was doing shit. When they were saying don't buy no houses, some nigga out there was buying a house. And that's without him knowing any of this stuff. That's without him being spiritual and trusting the spirit and following and the creator and all this shit niggas be saying. But it's like, okay, then why do you throw that out the window the minute something like this happens? If anything, shouldn't you? Because I be feeling crazy because I've kind of like started to adopt this attitude where it's like, man, if I feel like I want to buy a house, I'm not asking the job, I'm not asking the housing market. I'm not looking at the price of the house. I'm going straight to the spirit. I'm going straight to the what you call the source. I'm going to my higher self. I'm going inside. I'm doing meditations. I'm asking the question. I'm damn near gonna try to force and manifest, not force, but I'm gonna magnetize and manifest the house, whatever it is, however it is. That's how I'm thinking about it. That's how I want niggas to think about it. Like I'm not about to, oh, the housing market is bad. They saying not to buy a house. I'm not living by what they say. Why are you living by what they say? What the fuck is the point of doing meditation? Just to go by what the news says. I think you niggas forget. We are here to experience and to leave. We are here for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Now, does that not mean does that mean you just live the life of a monk? No. When you have kids, when you buy a house, when you start a business, when you go to college, when you get bullied in high school, when you're the cool kid in high school, all of these things help you with your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're here. We're here to experience. And those of us who are conscious of our spiritual journey, because that's really, if I'm gonna say niggas is conscious of anything, that's what it should be. Like conscious of your spiritual journey, what you're here to do. And when you realize that, it's like, okay, here is my, just like how we talk about it, we make the video game reference. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, okay, here is my main quest, here is my side quest. And when you look at it from that perspective, you stay on your quest. So no matter what the fuck is going on, you remember that don't got nothing to do with you because you are on your quest. And you never get the fuck off of your quest. And the only things you go to on your quest are the only things you look for are things to help you on your quest. So if you want a fancy apartment and you lose it, that might just be a part of your quest. If you feel like you got your soulmate and you lose it, that might be a part of your quest. If you having some fucked up times and all of that, that could be initiation. Remember, this is a spiritual journey, and initiation is part of it. We're not living in tribes. We are and we aren't, but I'm not about to go there right now. We're not living in tribes. We don't have no Rafiki from the Lion King. We don't have no nigga with no bone in his nose and shit. So we got to go through initiation in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is on a journey. from the hairdresser to the doula. You know what I'm saying? When you get to be aware of your journey, you get to you take accountability of your life and you take the keys to the ship, you start steering it where you want to go. You don't allow what they say or what they got going on to steer you. You know what I'm saying? Like look at it from a church Christian mindset. It's like leave it up to between you and God, but you understand that when I'm saying God or when I'm saying Allah, I'm talking about the higher self, the third eye. Whatever you wanna whatever fancy term you want to use, it's just however you understand it. You stop turning outside, turn away from the externals. You know what I'm saying? Stop going into panic mode. Stop listening to these niggas. Because the truth is, no matter what, you're going to have problems. When I was getting ready to do Liz's podcast, like the second episode, this part two, when you listen to the Day of the Dead, you can't hear it, but I said something. I was being facetious, but I'm like, yo, man, sometimes I think about I'd rather be a homeless nigga like on the islands than be that super duper wealthy man over here. Like that stress is just not worth it. And she was like, I don't know about that. And it's like, even though I'm being facetious, it's like, I, without me saying it or getting into full details, and I feel like only some people would understand what I'm trying to say. But most niggas going like, nigga, you homeless versus being rich, nigga, you crazy. Without me getting into full details, it's like I hang around a lot of so-called people who are doing well or got it or whatever, and it's like, them niggas still have problems. That Biggie, more money, more problems thing, it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like you gonna have rapper problems, but when you buy a house, there's a chance that your roof gonna cave in. You know what I'm saying? You have kids, you gotta worry about them niggas getting kidnapped. You have a woman, you gotta protect her. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you gonna have problems. But here's the thing. This is your life that you're in control of. You get to pick your problems. What do you mean by that? Why would I want to pick my problems? But remember, I started off by saying you got to think of this like a scientist, and you going to have the power to solve any of these problems, or at least to figure out how to solve it, which is the same thing. I don't know why I said that. You're going to have the power to solve these problems. You know what I'm saying? You're going to use your scientific mind, which is just your natural nigga mind. You're going to meditate on it. You're going to wait from the signs. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? And you can solve your problems. But you gotta understand that no matter what, you're gonna have them. But you can have different kind of problems. You can have I gotta get my wife's Mercedes out the shop. Why? Because I'm a man and I take care of the house and I take care of the bills and it's just coming up for its routine maintenance. Or you could be like, man, me and my girl trying to figure out how we gonna fix her like '05 Jetta. That shit need a new water pump and timing belt. Shit, when you go to the shop, you did like people will be like, yo, and I'm not pay attention to what I'm saying. Please don't think black and white like I'm just saying get a bunch of material shit. But people will say like, yo, it's better for you to buy a cheaper car, blah blah blah, because you know what I'm saying, you're gonna save money and all of that. But people sleep on how much you can spend sometimes in maintenance trying to keep them old cars together. And they'll be like, man, Beamer maintenance, this maintenance is pretty expensive. It's like, nigga, this is just as expensive. You know what I'm saying? If every other, like, I'm speaking from experience, because niggas done told me that, and those was horrible. It'd be like, yo, I gotta spend like 1,300 right now. Then another time, and then another time you spend 500. Another time you spend 800. And my uncle used to charge cheap ass prices, like dollar store prices for a mechanic. And and when you like add up all the money, you add up the high insurance I was already paying being young, and it's like, or trying to have, for some reason, I have full coverage on the car. So my insurance was like $400 on top of, fixing it and all of that. It's like, nigga, I should just been making the car payments. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like, I might as well. I would have probably, after the amount of time, just owned a nicer car and I would have had the same problems. I would have still have to be taking it to get that $1,000 maintenance. I would have still been paying that three, four, $500 because I was already paying $400 for insurance. So I was already paying car payment prices. I was already paying high maintenance fee prices. It just was in on a very low vibe because it was in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? But I could have had those same problems and just got a Beamer. And it didn't even have to be an older Beamer. You know what I'm saying? Now apply what I just said to something else that might even mean more to you. It might even be a car, but apply what I just said that might mean something more to you. Like I said, you have a house, you have the chances of your roof caving in, or your problems could be being homeless. Being homeless could be fucking expensive. Having a house could be expensive. It's like, maybe that's a bad example. I'm just trying to think of some off the top of my head. But what I'm trying, or like relationship problems, right? It's important to work on yourself. And I'll speak more on this later. But it's important to work on yourself because the things that come up in your relationship from both of y'all shadows as y'all mirror each other and stuff like that. It's like if you understood that the way energy works, it requires more energy to be going back and forth with each other and to be like fighting 24/7 and those be your relationship problems versus it's like, damn, she always leaving the remote over there. Or your relationship problems be like you fighting over where you going on vacation next. Or you like, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes way less energy. You know, your relationship problem could be like, damn, I have such a cool partner and people be trying to get at them. It's not that I don't trust their loyalty or nothing, just like, damn, you like, that'd be a problem for people. That's a real thing. Like, damn, my wife is beautiful. Like, I gotta worry. Or, or people be my husband is a tutor and people will try to take it or flirt with him and stuff. And it's like, he'll try to remain professional. Like, that could be a problem. But what kind of problem would you rather have? The loyal husband who remains professional and just happens to have women shoot his shot? Or is it like the person that you're constantly fighting with, you gotta like lurk on their pay? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm trying to use mundane things to show you, like, no matter what, you're gonna have problems. But pick your problems. Get off of the world's problems. The world's problems are not your problems. They don't have anything to do with you, really, specifically. Because truthfully, we're all in our own world. And your world that you're living in is just a reflection of how you feel internally. And as you continually change your ego and develop, if you develop, you will continue to be in a different world. If you wake up tomorrow and say you want to be a DJ, watch my video on travel to different worlds. If you wake up tomorrow and say you want to be a DJ and start DJing, you're going to be in the DJ world. And if you quit that and want to be a photographer, you're going to be in the photographer world. And I say that to say it's like we're all in different worlds having a unique experience. Even though we're technically that one being because we're all mirroring each other, but the world's problems are not your problems. And it's not about being insensitive. You know what I'm saying? Do you know as a kid, a lot of us kids, when we used to be having young nigga meetings, we'd be at the young nigga round table. Some of the things that young niggas would express to me would be like, yo, it could just hurt at times seeing people have empathy, like your mom or your aunt or something, for some motherfucker on the news, but then like not give a fuck about you and your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people be having empathy for the whole world, but it's like you won't even have that empathy for yourself. You won't even do things for yourself, but it's like you want to just so freely give your energy away to things that don't even serve you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make the world a better place, make your world a better place. You can't help nobody or do nothing just screaming into the sky or just posting to strangers. You know what I'm saying? Focus on your path. If stuff like that is a part of your path, then it will come natural and you'll have a positive energy exchange with it. You know what I'm saying? When you make your life better, then you can actually start doing stuff in your community and things like that. Not in just having all these fantasies that you give all your energy away to and nothing ever really gets done. And people have this community shit fucked up. You know what your community is? Your group chat, the people you text, the people that you hit up. That's your community. Not every nigga walking around. Not even the people that you live next to. We not even in those times no more. It's really that your group chat and shit. Niggas won't even check on a nigga in their group chat, but talking about some community shit. Relax. Relax with thinking that you're gonna save every single kid and all of that. Relax with having some sort of savior complex or thinking that people even need to be saved. You need to get a little selfish and focus on yourself. Until you pull yourself up, until you are in an ideal reality. If you're not where you want to be, you don't have time to give your energy to other things. Anybody telling you otherwise is basically saying that you're just a robot on Earth. Because why else would you be here if it's not to do something? And if you're here to do something and you don't know what that is, you need to be figuring it out. And once you figure it out, you need to do it. And once you're doing it, then, and you're doing it, then you can start doing side quests. Or then you might find out that doing what you're meant to do is going to bring the positive impact that you want to bring, even when it's just something like just painting. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, yo, what, like, how is painting going to help people? Nigga, you might have the portrait of somebody and their girl or their kids or something that they hang in their house for the rest of their life. That's going to be buried in their mind, a part of their family for the rest of their life. And it's like, if you're not painting right now, those people are searching for that, right? That couple is out there looking for that painting to put in their house. They're waiting for you to do it, but you're not doing it. Because, you know what I'm saying? There's people waiting for you to to like start looking good, to start dressing up, to start taking better care of yourself because they gonna see that and want to do it for themselves too. There's people who want to hear your story. There's people who want to hear that you was down bad and you pulled yourself up. That's what really helps niggas. Seeing you do something. And shit, even when you could just be working on yourself and just the nigga at the cubicle. But the fact that you're working on yourself and you vibrating on a higher frequency, energy is contagious. It's not just misery. And vibrating on the higher frequencies, that shit is way more contagious because keep it a buck, no matter how sad you are, a good laugh is way better than anything because nobody don't want to be sad. Even when you force yourself to be sad and miserable, it's like nobody wants to be sad. You want to be happy. That shit feels way better. You know what I'm saying? So work on yourself. You need to be working on yourself so you can be growing. If you ain't growing, what are you giving your energy to? You need to start giving it to yourself. You need to start understanding you're going to have problems no matter what. So it's important you pick your problems. You need to be setting up your ideal reality exactly how you want it to. Study how the subconscious mind works. Study how the quantum field works. Study how manifestation works, the law of assumption, the law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? How magnetize things to you. Get your reality in order. Get on your journey. Or as the girls would say, get on your Zoom. If you ain't even on your Zoom and doing none of that shit, you don't got time to be worried about nothing. This world gonna have problems. Stop saying the world is ending There's gonna be an apocalypse and this and that. You think you was just born here to be a part of some apocalypse? What sense would that make? None. Niggas been saying shit like that since you've been alive. Has it happened yet? No. Focus on your journey. Stop focusing on the economy. Stop focusing on the housing market. Stop focusing on all of that. Focus on yourself and your higher self. Allow your spirit to lead you where you need to go. And that's just that. Like, you go have problems. Start picking your problems. Make your problems your son's coach at the private school, your son's football coach fronting on him at the private school. Make that your problem. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you want your problems to be based on your lifestyle. And I'm not saying you go out there and it's like, oh, I have to be in a car accident. But I'm saying like going back to the mundane. If you're gonna spend the same amount to fix a bucket as you would uh, a Mercedes, you might as well have that Mercedes. You might as well have to worry about your roof caving in than have a roof over your head. Those are the type of problems you want. You might as well worry you and your wife fighting over which restaurant versus fighting over who y'all was texting last night. Operate from a higher level. Don't just have these tools just cause. Don't just read these books just cause. Use it to make your life better. You can't even talk about transcending this life and stuff like that and moving on to bigger and better things if you're still complaining about the economy, Nick. You haven't even got yourself right in this life. But yeah, um, make your life better. Focus on yourself. What are your dreams like? What are your aspirations? What have you always wanted to do before? And if you have a partner, what have you always wanted to do before you even have kids and shit? And even if you have a kid, don't let that be like a something that slows you down. Let it be something that motivates you. That don't mean you gotta be in a bucket struggling. Be the mom in the X5. Ain't we supposed to be magical people, nigga? How comes I don't never see none of this shit? It's just fucking complaining and following whatever these big accounts say. Nigga, do your own shit. Come up with some shit. Use your scientific mind. Focus on yourself. Pull yourself out of whatever problem. Be a problem solver in your life. Take accountability. Steer the ship where you want to go. And then maybe you could do some side quests.